Anyway, this particular situation is wild because this just shows once you get that first notification vibration detected, you need to be moving quickly, because just getting the notification isn't enough. You need to get the notification and be on your way to your car once you get it. So this guy drives a Dodge Charger Hellcat. He lives in an apartment complex, but he has his car parked in a parking garage, like a parking deck, like a concrete parking deck. But that really doesn't matter in this situation because it's a Hellcat Charger, and apparently people have been watching him. So one night they decide to run up on him, and apparently it was about 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning. They break into the front window of his car. They were using a key fob replicator. So to my understanding, what I understand about key fob replicators is that some of them, the higher end ones, are good enough to where if they can get your signal, they can not only steal your car, but somehow or another they can open the door to your car and then get in there. They don't have to break your window or anything. In this particular case, I don't think this guy's key fob replicator was quality, so he would only be able to replicate the key fob signal to the car itself. Now, I don't know how he was able to replicate the key fob signal, considering this was a parking garage and an apartment complex. The apartment must have been pretty close to the apartment garage, or the apartment, the parking garage. It must have been pretty close for him to replicate the signal, because somehow or another he was able to get it, or at least thought that he was able to get it. So he's breaking into this Dodge Charger Hellcat, right? Breaks the front window.
Parking mode on.
Shout out to Blackview. Breaks the front window. The glass is all over the ground. He's hanging outside of the car. You know, he's hanging outside of the front window or whatever, trying to get in. This is about 5:30 in the morning. This guy gets a notification. The first one that he gets at 5:32 a.m. Vibration detected. I'm sorry, it's a Challenger. My bad. Dodge Challenger Hellcat. Vibration detected. 5:32 a.m. So imagine you get that notification first thing in the morning, 5:32 a.m., and it wakes you up. You're looking at your phone, you see that notification, you're trying to find your shoes, maybe you're trying to find some hardware, if you know what I mean. You know, I don't know if you guys wear glasses, contacts, whatever the case may be. And then literally 2 minutes later, you get another notification, device disconnected. That means the guy is in your car at that point, and he's located the CarLock device in the OBD sensor, and he disconnected it within 2 minutes. That's why I say, if you're using CarLock, it's not enough to just get the notification. You need to be actively moving towards your car. Within 2 minutes, this guy was able to break into his car, sit in it somehow or another, lean in it, whatever the case may be, open the door, I don't know. And then 2 minutes later, found the CarLock device and disconnected it. Just so happened, the owner of this got all of these notifications back to back, clothes on, shoes on, hardware in hand, I'm assuming, goes to his car, sees this guy hanging out of his window, and I don't know what happened next, but needless to say, the guy took off running, and his car was safe. His Challenger Hellcat was safe and sound, you know. Which leads me to the purpose of this video. Obviously, he was able to protect this car, and, you know, CarLock saved the day. But one thing I wanted to tell you guys is, like, for one, you need to make sure that you got the 4G LTE version, because if you don't, you're basically on 2G, if I'm not mistaken. And 2G, you can get a notification of something that happened 45 minutes ago. And by that time, your car is already on 485, 85, going towards another city, another state, right? So you need to make sure that you got the 4G LTE version. That's the most recent one. I didn't even have it myself, and then out of nowhere, my notifications were being delayed. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Like, what's going on with my service? And I hit them up, and they said, that's because you got the first gen. So first off, make sure you got the brand new one. Use my code, link in the description, all that good stuff. But also, you guys need to understand that when you get that first notification, which is going to be the vibration detected, because it doesn't matter how they try to steal your car, whether they break your window, whether they're, I don't know, using a key fob replicator and they open your door, the first notification that you're always going to get is vibration detected. And then after that, depending on how smooth they are with it, the next one may be device disconnected, which means they located the fact that you've got CarLock in the car and they yanked that thing out. And then the next one could be engine started, you know, just because that lets you know that your car is pretty much gone at that point. The engine has been started. So once you get that first vibration detected notification, you need to be hauling ass to your car, like ASAP. In this guy's case, he had a little under 2 minutes to get to his car before the device had already been disconnected. Because like I know, let's be honest here, I've gotten a vibration detected notification if it was storming outside, right? Storming, lightning, thundering, and my car shakes, I've gotten this vibration detected. So it was a false alert. And I've even gotten it when, I don't know, I think one time somebody was leaning up against my car and I came out and it was some kids, like it was a van that was parked next to my car and some kids were leaning up against my car and I got vibration detected. So that was a false alarm. The security system did what it was supposed to do, but it was still very much so a false alarm. So if you are that type of person that's like, nah, that's another false alarm, it's thundering outside, it's raining, it's real windy, something like that, and then 2 minutes later you get the device disconnected notification, your car is pretty much gone at that point. Unless it takes them some time to hot wire it or whatever the case may be. But in this guy's case, he was using a key fob replicator, which to my understanding, like once you get the signal, you're pretty much gone. So this guy had, 2 to 4 to 5 minutes to make a decision. Otherwise, his shit was gone. So to my point, guys, what I'm telling you is that when you get these notifications, even though it may be inconvenience for you to come out and look at your car and make sure that your car is still there. Because within 2 minutes, this car could have been gone. Once you get that first notification, CarLock is telling you something is going on. There's some sort of vibration. You need to be on your way to your car ASAP. Fortunately, this guy was on his way. CarLock did its job. He was able to save his car. All is well. So guys, I'm telling you, when you get that first notification, make your way to your car just to see what's going on. That's what this thing does. One thing that I've heard from some of you guys is that every now and then you'll get a false alarm, like a false notification about a vibration detection, or maybe it was delayed, or maybe it was the wind or the thunder or something like that. Listen, you need to take every notification seriously. That's what you're paying for. That's what you're paying the monthly for, and that's what you paid for CarLock. Like once you get that notification, you need to take it seriously. So whether it's a false alarm or not, there could be a time when it's not a false alarm, it's the real deal. And you know what kind of car you're driving, you know what kind of car we drive and what people want to do with them. They want to steal them. Every notification that you get, you need to be taking it seriously. Once it comes in, regardless, go check it out. There have been times, one thing that I've noticed about CarLock is if you're in the middle of switching networks, that can delay it. And I say that to say, like, when I'm pulling into my house or whatever, obviously I'm not on Wi-Fi, I'm on LTE, or I'm on my AT&T or whatever. And then I go from AT&T to Wi-Fi. Sometimes there can be a delay if something happened when I was on AT&T and it switches over to Wi-Fi or vice versa. But regardless, if I get a notification, I always come out and check my car. I take every notification seriously, and I highly suggest you do too. That's what you're paying for. That's what this thing does. It's been your boy Knockout 360. I'll see you.